let's see, one of the cables of videos from one puppet show. But anyway, my friend Dan Rice says, you, yes, Nancy Bowden, the anything puppet and just believe. He doesn't sit there and feel, he's a Missy John Paul. However, does mean we have room for a few more people if possible. Anyway, we are searching for a new cast. Anyway, if you can help, we'd be willing to help. Well, all my friends and those I haven't met yet, this is a all-out bulletin out there. We need your help to save the JP and Ted show. If you can get some signatures off the petition, to hire a new cast or with some new audiences and stuff or stuff like that, we'd be really grateful. And we are taking donations, and we are taking auditions right now. And if you can help, you can reach us at 610-566-6347. Our email address is work0@AOL.com. Thanks a lot. Anyway, the public service announcement from the JP and Ted show, and JP and Ted show. Anyway, we hope to see you. And she came all the way from Conshohocken to visit.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
And she's currently working at, where are you working?
Playful Pet.
Great. We went to school at Devereaux for many years and stuff, and we went to dances and stuff, and she's visiting today. And her mom is working at, she's working as a waitress, and her brother is interested in football. In fact, we went to media today for lunch.
Pinocchio's Pizza was a good place.
Thanks. Well, mm-hmm. Mm. Mm.
And now, it's time for Work Zero and Friends Halloween Happenings 2, our second volume in JP and Ted Halloween. Join us as we present Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
This is show 8764, presenting Mork Zero and Friends Halloween Happenings, and we are having a great time. But first, let me tell you my rules and advice for a safe and scary Halloween. Don't go without your parents. Don't accept any apples, popcorn, or cookies for treats. Don't eat all your candy in one night. And don't play mean tricks on neighbors. Here's my list of do's. Do watch out for traffic. Do carry a flashlight. Do walk together. Do remember to say thank you and happy Halloween. And don't forget to have a good time this Halloween. What would be better than a scary song? But anyway, I'd like to start the song with this immortal classic. One thing that delights audiences for a long time. And what Frank Sinatra called dumbest thing he ever heard. And Elvis, yes, the king himself, called The rap song was amazing. So if you're out there, Elvis, I'm still here. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from the slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash. He did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, he did the mash. It caught on in a flash, he did the mash. It was the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abode to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. You caught on in a flash, it's got a mash. It's got a monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking over digging sounds. Igor on chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers from about to arrive with a local group. They kept fighting the mash. They did the monster mash, the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash, it's not a mash. It's not a monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "What happened by the answering twist? It's not a mash. It's not a monster mash, the monster mash. It's a graveyard smash. You caught on in a flash, and it's not a mash. It's not a monster mash. Now everything's cool, Drax apart the band, and my monster mash is a hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you, and you can mash, and you can monster mash, the monster mash, into my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash and do the mash, and do the monster mash. Good! Easy, Igor, you impetuous young boy. Mash good! It's not a mash. It's not a mash. And I'd like to have John Paul sing a little song you do. It's Stirring the Brew.
Stirring and stirring and stirring the brew. Ooh, ooh. Stirring and stirring and stirring the brew. Ooh, ooh. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe.
That's very good. And now, we'd like to present this year's Halloween classic. And you're invited to partake in this little experiment. You see, we are presenting Dr. Jekyll of Mr Hyde. Please, it might be a bit too intense and a bit too scary for some people. We ask that if you're too nervous to see this, please leave the theater. You see, Dr. Jekyll is a philanthropist and physician, loved by all, and Mr. Hyde is early loathsome and plunges into all manners of evil. You see, Dr. Jekyll created a potion that, well, we're ready to begin.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson.
Every man is truly two beings, cursed with the struggle of good and evil within him. What would this duality be like, separated, each part living alone, the good companion, and then the pure and outly evil of a man?
that you, Poole?
Yes, Dr. Jekyll.
Well, come in, come in. Did you get the salt?
Yes, sir. Finally, sir. But only 3 pounds of it. It was all the chemist had.
Good. It will suffice. Thank you, Poole.
Anything else, sir?
Oh, no, Poole. Good night.
I beg pardon, sir, if I may ask, is the experiment nearly done?
I think so, Poole. This time, I think it's really nearly done.
Ah, splendid, sir. Cook would be glad to hear it, too.
Good
Good
night.
idea.
Good night. Good night. Yes, and a gram of salt. Now. Oh, where's your courage, Jekyll? Drink it. Drink it. Here. Your face. Your face. The essence of evil within you, growing before your eyes. There's breath in your other half, Jekyll. You've given him the miracle of life. The essence of the hidden evil in a man, Dr. Jekyll. The miracle of consummate evil come to life. The hidden soul of Jekyll. I am Mr. Hyde.
That night, like a shadow from an evil place, a stooped figure walked alone in the London streets. About him was a feeling of deformity and decay. He had come from the by-street door of Dr. Henry Jekyll's house, from his laboratory. And it was this same door he entered again when the first light of dawn dispelled the night. But during the day, the house and the laboratory were quiet, while the master slept. That evening, Mr. Utterson, the lawyer, stood before the bright fire in the library. Dr. Jekyll had
This plan is preposterous, Jekyll. I'm your lawyer,
yes,
yes.
but nothing to be so concerned about, Utterson. Edward Hyde is a new friend of mine. I want to be sure he's provided for in case something happens to me, that's all.
But nothing's going to happen to you. How could you just disappear, as you've stated in this testament?
Oh, now, how could I know that, Utterson?
Well, it's strange, Jekyll, but if this is the way you want it.
Hyde has captured my interest, Utterson. His well-being is the one thing uppermost in my mind. I want to be certain, in case something does happen to me, that Hyde will be financially secure to carry on.
I see. Well, all right, Jekyll, as you wish. The will will be ready for your signature in a few days. I'll bring it around myself.
Splendid, Utterson. Now, what about that spot one?
Thanks, no. Dr. Langham's expecting me. He was only asking about you the other evening, Jekyll. We see you so seldom these days.
Well, I've been rather hard at it in the laboratory. Sure you can't stay.
Another time. Good night, Jekyll.
Good night.
Wonder who the devil this Edward Hyde is.
Mr. Utterson was the first of many Londoners who were to wonder about the hideous spectre like Mr. Hyde, who were to fear the shadows of night because of him. One evening, nearly a week later,
Help me! Help me!
Here, you fellow. What's the matter?
It's a monster, sir. He struck me with his cane. Help me, sir, please.
There. Nobody's going to hurt you. Now, where is this monster you speak of?
He was right behind me, sir. All the way from Pleasant Street. Look, there, under the corner light. You'll not let him come at me again, will you, sir? Will you?
No, my lad. No harm will come to
Oh,
you.
sir.
He's seen us now. Wait. By George, it is a monster.
Look, sir. He's making for that doorway. The small one in the shadow, just there.
So he is. Hey there, fellow. Wait a minute there. Oh, my lad.
But, sir, don't let him.
It's all right now. Don't be afraid. You there. Did you strike this child?
if the ruffian molests me again, I'll strike him again.
What kind of a devil are you?
There's no gentleman that wishes to avoid a scene.
It was an accident. Maybe this pound note will ease the boy's pain.
Oh, no, no.
Take it, lad.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
Now, wait a moment. In this door, isn't this Jekyll's laboratory? You must be Mr. Hyde. I'm an old friend of the doctor's, Addison, on Bond Street. You must have heard of me. I was just on my way to see Jekyll.
How did you know I'm Mr. Hyde?
Oh, we have common friends.
Who are they?
Jekyll, for one. Come, let me see your face, Mr. Hyde. How else shall I know you when we meet again?
We shall not meet again, Mr. Utterson.
Now, so that is Hyde. Now, my lad, run along. I've got a call to make.
In this house, sir?
Yes, but at the front door. I want to see if Mr. Jekyll's in. Now, my lad, you run along home, and don't let me catch you out on the dark streets like this again.
Yes, sir, you won't, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Mr. Utterson.
Dr. Jekyll home, Paul?
I'm afraid not, sir.
Thought sure he'd be here at this late hour.
Most generally he is, sir.
I just saw that Hyde fellow go in by the laboratory door. Is that right, when Dr. Jekyll's away from home?
Quite right, Mr. Utterson. Mr. Hyde has a key.
Your master seems to put a great deal of trust in him.
Yes, sir, he does indeed. We all have orders to obey him, though we see him seldom. He mostly comes and goes by the street door and at night, sir.
Well, tell Dr. Jekyll I'd like to see him as soon as possible and give him these papers, will you, Poole? I was talking with him about them a few days ago.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Poole.
Good night, Mr. Utterson. The sword, Mr. Hyde. Hurry. Yes, it will. Pour the powder in slowly. Now, drink it now. Look, that strength of good, Mr. Hyde. The triumphant strength of good. What a face. The terror of your eyes unclouding. The straightening of your crooked, evil soul. The masking of an ugly idol in the glass. It's the last of you, Mr. Hyde. You'll never exist again.
What? That's you, Dr. Jekyll?
Yes, Poole.
I'm so sorry, sir. I only just told Mr. Utterson that you were not at home.
I came in by the laboratory door, Poole.
But Mr. Hyde, sir...
Mr. Hyde is gone.
Oh, I see. Mr. Utterson left this paper and note, sir. He asked also to see you as soon as possible.
Well, thank you, Poole. Put it there.
Shall I bring you some chocolate, sir?
No. No, I'll go to bed. I'm very tired, Poole. I've been alone too much lately. What do you say to my taking your advice and having a dinner party?
Oh, that would be like old times, sir.
And we'll talk it over tomorrow.
Splendid, sir.
And, Poole, I don't think Mr. Hyde will be back again.
Good evening. Come right in, sir.
Dr. Lanyon and Miss Julie, come in.
Well, Jekyll, good to see you out of that shell after all these months. This isn't going to be one of those stuffy dinner parties, is it?
Pay no attention to him, Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, yes, Poole. By the way, Jekyll.
Yes.
This is your walking stick, isn't it?
Why, so it is.
You went off with mine the last time you were over. That's yours.
Did I? I'm sorry. Look for Dr. Lanyon's cane, will you, Poole?
Yes, sir. Boss, I'd rather have this one. I'm fond of canes and sherry. A little dog's head is nicely carved.
Well, perhaps we'll arrange a swap someday.
Well, Dr. Jekyll,
Oh,
good evening.
Sir Andrew. Hello there.
Where have you been hiding all these weeks?
Hiding? Right here, Sir Andrew, right here.
Well, we've missed you. Mrs. Fielding's dinners aren't the same without Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, thank you,
Let's
sir.
see, it's good to see you, Jekyll. You're not evading me this time. Been trying to see you all week.
Why, something on your mind?
Not here, old fellow. Come along. We can steal out a few minutes before dinner.
Well, only a few. I've got a house full of guests, remember. Look, there's nobody here. Sit down. By the fire.
My word. It does look like you've been working.
Well, it takes a lot of equipment for chemical experiments.
without asking. That will, of course.
Oh, that. I don't like it, Jekyll.
You never did, and especially since I've met your Mr. Hyde. He's a fighting fellow, Jekyll. The other night,
Let's not talk about it, Utterson. It's not as you fancy. I can be rid of her the moment I choose.
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just going to say, let's leave the will as it is. And will you promise me one thing?
What's that?
I still take a great interest in Hyde, and I only ask for justice for you to help him if the time comes when I'm no longer here.
The whole thing's preposterous, but... Yeah, it's a promise. I'll do my best. Well, look here, Jekyll. Are you ill?
No. But
Your face, man. Your face.
look at me, Utterson. Jekyll, wait a minute.
He saw you, Mr. Hyde.
Man, let me alone. Let me alone. You've got to die and stay here forever.
You're afraid, Mr. Hyde. Afraid of him. Can you kill the strongest horse in the world? You've got to have the strength of Hyde to murder the inordinate strength of Hyde. You can't kill me, Jekyll. The good in you can never kill. And I shall never die. Not as long as you can live.
Our story continues after this brief pause.
That felt good. Hi, I'm Ted Harris of JPN Ted Productions, and this is the Genghis Six to my con, John Paul Gomez. Here at JPN Ted Productions, we believe in a stressful way to bring meaning to the world, and we have converted our format to a movie format also. So, this is wonderful. Our movies are about $10 a person, starting with the introductory video to Uncle Scary, which is Uncle Scary's Sideshow Horrors, only $22. And you can order a transcript of Camp Skip 1999 for $15. And we'll happily donate $10 of proceedings to the charity of your choice. Also, so you can learn lots of other things, such as the fundamentalists of Muppets, and the fundamentalists of Jim Henson, and the fundamentalists of many other people. So call today, 610-566-6347. We're available Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and the stores open on Saturday, and the stores closed on Sunday. Anyway, hope to see you. Right, John Paul?
Right.
And thank you for choosing JPN Tech Productions as your service.
And now, back to today's short story.
That hideous creature we heard about, man. That Mr. Hyde. I just saw him kill a man. There, in the street, just outside. I screamed and he looked up at me like a wild man he was. Oh, no, go on, David. Anna, get yourself in hand.
What's going on here?
Nothing on the street, Father. You gotta go out and see what's happened. Oh, the creature was about to come up to the
old man. He's been murdered, Dr. Lanyon. Good Lord. It's Sir Andrew Carew. Looks like he was on his way to the post and some madman attacked him.
Here, you. Call an officer.
Already been called. Look at this.
What is it?
A walking cane. What the murder was done with, most likely. It broke plumb in two.
Here, let me see that.
Heavy sort of cane. He's to do a murder with that.
How terrible. Some maniac's done this.
That's Mr. Hyde we've heard so much about, and some folks have seen. That's who's done it.
Cherry cane with a dog's head carved in the handle. Why, this is Dr. Jekyll's.
Clark, let me have a room.
Real quick.
Yes, right away.
And I want a note delivered immediately.
Will you register, sir?
How's the time it is? Give me a ring and send me a message quick. Take a book. Don't want these fingers around your throat, or will you do as I say?
Yes. Sam, show this gentleman up to 210 and wait for a note he wants delivered. Oh, my word, fingers around my throat. Oh, my God, it really meant it.
I cannot impress upon you too strongly the importance of this note, Dr. Lanyon. You have been a dear friend, and now my life is in your hands. Go immediately to my house. Poole will admit you. From my laboratory cabinet, remove the fourth drawer from the top, with all its contents intact, and take it to your house, where a man will present himself in my name at exactly midnight tonight. You must not fail me. Henry Jekyll. What an extraordinary thing. Well, I've done as Jekyll said. Now we'll see. Oh, right on the dot. Who's there? Are you from Jekyll?
Yes, let me in.
You got it. I have, but look here.
The drawer.
It's in my study. Through that door there.
Where is it?
There, on the table.
A graduated glass.
On the shelf beside you. But what are you going to do?
I'm going to perform a miracle.
Now look here. Jekyll didn't say anything about... If this is some fiendish thing Jekyll's cooked up, I'll be no partner to it. Who are you anyway?
Look at you, Dr. Lanyon.
Man, answer me. Who are you?
You already guessed that, haven't you? I'm Mr. Hyde. Hyde. Is your curiosity great enough to watch me drink this potion?
What are you talking about? Get out of here, you devil!
If you watch me, a new knowledge will be open to you, Dr. Lanyon. And in this room, this instant, your sight will be blasted by a prodigy that will stagger the unbelief of Satan himself.
You're a madman. Get out of my house.
Now, what, Dr. Lanyon, now what?
Jekyll. Heaven's name.
It's you. The birth of a good man before your eyes. Now you see why I hid myself away all those weeks, Dr. Lanyon.
Jekyll. What are you saying?
At first it took a strong draught of the formula to bring him to life. Weeks ago that was. But now he's too strong. Now the Jekyll you see before you hasn't the power to keep him back. 2 hours from now, Dr. Lanyon, I'll be Mr. Hyde again. And no strength of my will can stop it.
Jekyll, you're mad. Leave me alone.
Hello, all of the powder, Dr. Lanyon. In heaven's name, don't you see? I've got to find more of the powder. This was the last of it.
Jekyll, have mercy. Let an old man alone.
Together we can do it, Dr. Lanyon. Poole got the powder for me, but the shop where he got it has no more. It must have contained some impurity that did the trick. You've got to help me find out what that impurity was. Dr. Lanyon, you've got to help me murder this evil bless you, Mr. Anderson, for coming so quickly.
What on earth's happened, fool?
I'm sorry, afraid Dr. Jekyll's been murdered, sir.
What? Murder?
Come with me, sir. Don't make a noise. We mustn't be heard.
But where are you taking me?
Here's a candle, sir, to Dr. Jekyll's laboratory. And if by any chance he asks you in, don't go, Mr. Anderson. Don't go.
But how could Jekyll be dead?
Quiet, sir, I beg of you. You see, he's been in the laboratory all day, and he won't come out. And every time I look, wait and you shall see. Here's the door.
What is it?
Mr. Anderson, sir, asking to see you.
Tell him I can't see anyone.
Yes, sir.
Fool, that isn't... Well, that doesn't sound like Jekyll to me.
No, sir, I'm glad to hear you say so because, Mr. Anderson, whatever is in there cries to heaven for help and waits and so
What are you driving at, fool?
Well, sir, it all began early this morning after they'd found Dr. Lanyon dead.
Yes, I saw it. Such terror in his face.
Well, sir, it was sometimes Dr. Jekyll's way to leave orders on a sheet of paper outside this door. And since early this morning, sir, we've had nothing else except notes at the closed door and food left outside to be smuggled in when nobody was looking. And a dozen times, Mr. Anderson, those notes were sent me flying all over London to wholesale chemists for a certain powder. But every time, soon after I brought it back, they gave another paper telling me to return it because it wasn't right, sir. And this drug, sir, is wanted very badly.
Then maybe it is Jekyll, fool. Maybe...
Oh, sir, do you think I wouldn't know my master after 20 years? That thing in there, Mr. Anderson, had done away with Dr. Jekyll.
Then who do you think it is in there?
I give you my Bible word, Mr. Anderson. It's that monster, Mr. Hyde.
That's what I thought. Come on, we've got to break in.
Yes, sir.
We need an axe, something to pry the door with.
I have the tools here. I've also taken the liberty of sending a footman with a boy around by the by-street entrance just in case. And I have a gun here.
Good. Can they catch him if he tries to escape?
They can, sir. Here's the axe.
Here, hold the candle.
Right.
I'm going to knock first.
Right.
Mr. Hyde, will you let me in?
I can't see anybody. Go away.
If you don't open the door, I'm going to break it down.
Anderson, in heaven's name, have mercy. Leave me alone.
Stand back.
If you let me in, I say!
We're coming in there, Mr. Hyde.
No! You break down the door, I'll sue you. You let me, I'll sue you. No! It's Anderson, wait! I'll unlock the door.
Give me that gun, fool.
The door is unlocked. Open it and come in if you dare.
Stand behind me, fool. I'm going to push it open.
Oh, it's the monster. Mr. Anderson, he's got a knife.
Stay back from us, Mr. Hyde.
Here you see evil incarnate, Mr. Anderson. And murder is my forte.
So you have murdered Dr. Jekyll.
Because he wished me dead. Now both of you shall die.
Stay back, Mr. Hyde. Watch, look out.
Now.
Is he dead, sir?
He's dead, fool.
Then we must find Dr. Jekyll. His body must be here somewhere in the laboratory.
Wait.
Look. His face. It's changing, sir. It's...
You're looking at the shell of an evil soul, fool, dissolving, turning back to the form of its creator.
But it's Dr. Jekyll. What does it mean, Mr. Anderson?
It means the evil man is dead, fool. For here lies the better half of his duality, triumphant.
Alright, a good cast is worth mentioning. Worth repeating. A good cast is worth mentioning. Featuring Dr. Lanyon. And of course, Fool. And Henderson. Harvey Apple Monster as Mr. Hyde. And Work Zero is Dr. Jekyll. We'd like to sing a couple more songs, as part of the penance, okay? And here we go. I'm thinking of a song. I go on. Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had one long horn and one big eye. People started shaking and so do we. It looked like a purple people eater to me. It was a one-eye, one-horn, fly purple people eater. One-eye, one-horn, fly purple people eater. One-eye, one-eye, fly purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. Oh, we came down to earth and he lived in a tree. I said, Mr. Pepper People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff, I want to eat you because you're so tough. Oh, bless my soul, rotten little fine purple people. Pigeon toe, rotten little fine purple people eater. We wear short shirts, fine purple people eater. Draw the crazy thing. Oh. Well, I've been purple people eater. What's your life? He said, eating purple people, and sure is fine. But that's not the reason why he came to land. I want to get a job in a rock and roll band. Oh, bless my soul, rock and roll, fine purple people. Pigeon toe, rock and roll, fine purple people. We wear short shorts, fine purple people eater. What a sight to see. Oh, we swung from the trees, started rocking and rolling and rocking around. There's a crazy baby with a singing tune. Whoa, that's what's so fine purple people eater. Pigeon toe, rock and roll, fine purple people eater. I like shotgun. Fine purple people eater. What a crazy thing. Oh, well, he was his way, and what do you know? I saw him last night on a TV show. He was rolling around, really knocking them dead, singing rock and roll music with the horn. Tequila! Okay? Paul's going to pretty much do a scene from the Pee Wee Herman Halloween special.
How am I supposed to do that?
Okay, here we go.
Oh boy, I hope that monster doesn't come here.
Oh, I think I hear something.
That's my name, don't wear it out.
Tequila.
Ah! Doctor! Ah!
Tequila! Well, we need a good going home song.
Day-o, day-o. Daylight come and me want go home. Day, it's a 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 day, yo. Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night, done a drink of rum.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Stop on a hilly morning come.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me bananas.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me bananas.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day, he's a day, yo.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a
Daylight
day,
come
he's a
and we
day.
want to go home.
A beautiful bunch of ripe banana.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Hide the deadly black tarantula.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day, he's a day, yo.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a day, he's a
Daylight
day,
come
he's a
and we
day.
want to go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me bananas.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me bananas.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day, yo. Day, yo.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Day. It's a day, 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 yo.
Daylight come and we want to go home. Okay, I like to conclude this show with a little song, you know? Okay, here we go. You look the same, yet you are not the same. But life has come, I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. You are the same, yet you are not the same, but life proclaims her claim to fame. I am afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. I guess I'll have to play Pagliacci and get myself a clown's disguise and learn to laugh like Pagliacci. With tears in my eyes, where life is worth but life the same. When your life has come, when things are the same, I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. I guess I'll have to play Pagliacci and get myself a clown's disguise and learn to laugh like Pagliacci with tears in my eyes when life has come, when things are right, where your life is no. I'm afraid the masquerade is over, and so is love, and so is love. That took a lot out of me. Thank you. Let's have John Paul come back here. This is it for Work Your Own Friends Halloween Happenings 2. Stay tuned next year when we present Work Your Own Friends Halloween Happenings 3. And thank you, John Paul.
Canada.
And thank you for watching the show, and thank you for everyone. And happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing. And now we present Holger in the Dark. Holger in the Dark. Holger in the Dark. Have any of you seen Holger? You don't mean he's right here? Holger! Here's a joke. What did the beaver say when he heard the chainsaw? Oh, they're playing my song. What the monsters I say? 20. When you call a skeleton that's lying around in bed all the time. Lazy bones. What did one candle say to the other candle? Are you going out tonight? What did one strawberry say to the other strawberry? If you weren't so fresh, I think we wouldn't be in this jam. What did one marionette say to the other marionette? I give up. I'm all tied up. I am going to do my series on phrenology. Bumps. Sir, I think you have some great bumps. But you want no bumps? We made some. Now, from the bump on your head, I can tell many things then. Okay, 6 more jokes. Hmm. 6 more jokes. What did the beaver say when he heard the chainsaw? They're playing my song. Oh, they built the Titanic, they built the ocean. Oh, they built the
the ship Titanic to sail the ocean blue. And wait a minute! We're supposed to be telling funny jokes. Oh. Oh, they built the ship Titanic to sail the ocean blue. Stop that! That's not funny. Oh. What's green that runs out of your face at a million miles an hour? Snot! What did the epileptic say on a medical eye bracelet? I am not breakdancing. Sorry. Okay. So I got warm people up here. What are you, Alliance or all painting? Say, you know what I think of? You know what I think of Jesse Owens? Kind of like a cross between Richard Simmons and the Marquis de Sade. And Ronald Reagan, they're mentioning him in the paper today. And he looks like Gumby on steroids. And his presidency, it's way long, way too long. Oh, by the way, next week we're presenting more jokes, and see you next time.
Today you will be honored by a scene from William Shakespeare's The Tempest. Oh, brave new world that has seen so many faces. And now my charms are dear enthroned, with strength of fellow miles. But release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. What his crimes is pardon me, with thou courage set me free. Johnny Angel, it's Jesus. Yes, sir? I'm giving you an assignment. I have a difficult task for you. It's the brothers of humanity. You have to break them up. The leader is an evil man. You must expose him. Yes, sir. And right in another part of town, this clerk, Sheba, she had arrived from Cuba, was having a difficult time finding work. Oh my, I'm having a difficult time finding work. And suddenly her eyes fall upon a poster on the wall. Should she join? Annoyingly, she does join. Meanwhile, in a church hall rented for the occasion, Sheba began. Ever since I lived from Cuba, I have arrived home. Wait. Ever since I left Cuba, I've been living apart, alone and frustrated, so that's why I joined. It is sad, so I should join. The bus took off, Hal appeared. Anyway, things were going all right for a while. But things got pretty tough. Scrub the dishes, wash the floor. We will make our way to the new world, as God has commanded. He is the Holy One. We will make our way to the new world. As you see, the planets are coming in. You will come in. People have asked, why is this going on? Where are these things happening? A little later, Sheba prayed to God, probably for a miracle. If you're up there, God, if you can hear me, give me a miracle. Amen. Well, Johnny, this is it. Sheba is right there at the parish